Hello and welcome to the Elton John party here in Los Angeles. Well, what a night it's been for the Academy Awards. It's been a night of some surprises, some drama, some politics creeping into the Academy Awards. And I can tell you, look, we're at the Elton John party, but I've already got to hold my first Oscar. The visual effects winners have just this minute passed through here, and they let me hold their statuette for, they won, of course, for Avatar. It's been such an interesting night. We thought in this live stream we would just break down a few of the things that happened tonight, and joining me now to do that is the entertainment editor of Sky News, Gregory.
Hello.
Have you enjoyed it? Was it an enjoyable ceremony for you? I thought it was quite an interesting one, quite fun.
It was quite fun. I think I really loved last year's ceremony. I thought Conan did such a good job last year, and I felt like if some of the bits this year they fell a little bit flat.
Well, yes, yeah. I mean, there were a few sort of slightly awkward moments, really. Some jokes that didn't land, if you like.
Yeah, exactly that. But there were also some really lovely moments as well. I enjoyed both the musical performances. Yeah. I was relieved that there weren't lots and lots of musical performances.
Look, should we try and take you through some of the winners, though? Look, firstly, starting with the tally. So one battle after another was, of course, the big winner of the night. It converted its 13 nominations into 6 awards, including taking home Best Picture. Look, for Paul Thomas Anderson, he's done terrifically, hasn't he? He's gone from having absolutely no Oscars to having so many that he can barely hold on to them. Director, writer, the big one though, Best Picture. I mean, that kind of all went the way we thought it would, didn't it?
Yeah, I think there was quite a head of steam behind Sinners, and people in the last couple of weeks especially were kind of thinking, oh, actually, is Sinners going to win this? And because of the way the voting works for Best Picture as well, it's a bit complicated, I won't explain it all now, but sometimes the kind of second most popular film ends up being the one that wins. That wasn't the case. It was indeed one battle that kind of, that did expectedly take Best Picture, but it was enough of a race that it was still good fun in the lead up, even though we probably knew it was always going to win.
Well, another thing that was fairly sort of set in stone was Jessie Buckley's win as well. But look, even though we all kind of saw that one coming, it didn't take away from that moment of her winning. She looked absolutely emotional. She did a really good speech, didn't she, talking about how she was dedicating her award to all the mothers out there, because of course within Hamnet she plays a grieving mother. But yeah, one for the mums. She said to her husband she wants to have 20,000 babies, so he's going to have a good night.
Probably the most surprising thing that happened, really, someone wanting to have 20,000 babies. I mean, that's a lot of babies. But no, it was a really lovely moment, because I think, it was so assumed she was going to win, so it wasn't a surprise, and yet she managed to kind of make it look like a big moment, and was so exciting. Really gorgeous speech. Apparently she went into the winner's room afterwards and they said, oh, do you have a message for the people that are in Ireland that have stayed up to support you? And she said, don't go to bed, keep on partying. So we love that. Jessie kind of, really wanting everyone to kind of enjoy her win along with her.
Well, look, apart from that, Hamnet, I think it only received that win, didn't it?
Just the one for Hamnet, that's right. And then 2, of course, for K-pop Demon Hunters.
K-pop Demon Hunters. It was already record-breaking, wasn't it? Because it is Netflix's most watched film ever. Golden is the song, one of the songs that it won it for. It has a very golden run tonight, didn't it? Fittingly so. But I think surely that has to be the big popular winner of the night, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't get more popular than K-pop Demon Hunters. If you have kids of a certain age, you will have seen this film multiple times, but even if you haven't, you will know Golden. It's an absolute banger. It's been really successful, and it's nice to see K-pop arriving at the Oscars. I mean, it's a win that everyone enjoyed, I think.
Shall we talk about the fact that perhaps a film that wasn't really critically loved has done rather well tonight, Frankenstein? But the reason it has done so well is because it cleaned up with all the sort of technical categories, didn't it?
Yeah, and I think that everyone really was thinking that Frankenstein would win for both costume and makeup. I think with Frankenstein, the kind of the design of it, the look of it, it's kind of undeniable. You see Jacob Elordi as Frankenstein, and you can see the makeup. You can see that he looks, that he's got all these prosthetics on. It's very obviously impressive makeup. You don't really need to know loads about makeup, maybe, to kind of like see that it's an achievement.
Well, and of course we didn't have any British acting winners, but the makeup of Frankenstein gave us a British winner, Mike Hill, for the makeup, and it was terrific makeup.
Yeah, no, I mean it's incredible, and actually I think the look of Frankenstein for me is the best thing about the film.
Yeah.
You know, the way it looks, both in terms of the costuming and the makeup on the people, and then the production design, and yeah, so it's those categories that there were wins for Frankenstein. Nothing in the kind of sort of more, you know, nothing for Jacob Elordi, nothing for Guillermo del Toro.
Jacob Elordi, when they cut to him in the crowd occasion, he looked like a competition winner, didn't he? He just looked absolutely chuffed to be in the front.
He did look thrilled to be there, and I also saw some nice pictures of him like at the bar in between, because in the commercial breaks everyone runs off to the bar, and he was over in the bar chatting away to people, kind of using his time wisely, making some good connections.
Well, look, Best Actor is another sort of semi-controversial one. We sort of felt that the mood music had perhaps changed over the course of award season, away from it being sort of Timothée Chalamet being a sure in to win that, towards Michael B. Jordan within the last few weeks, really. He was a great winner as well. He gave a great speech, didn't he?
Yeah, really nice speech, and he was genuinely touched and emotional to be up there. I think it's really nice to see how thrilled people are. It's easy to be a bit cynical about, you know, who really cares about Oscars and celebrities, and, you know, there's so much going on in the world. But actually, you know, this it's a lot of work, and it really does mean a lot to people to receive these awards. Yeah. It's a big deal, and you could tell that he was really touched.
Well, we have to talk about Autumn, the cinematographer for Sinners as well, making history, because there has never been a female winner of that category before. That was terrific, wasn't it? She invited all of the women in the audience up onto their feet to say that she couldn't have done it without her fellow sort of women backing her.
Yeah, it was really incredible. And it's also, it's kind of disgraceful that it's taken until 2026 for a woman to win this award. It's quite mind-blowing, really. But she was the perfect winner. She made a really good speech. She kind of accepted it. And she was, you know, the cinematography on Sinners is really exciting. And so it felt like a well-deserved win. It certainly didn't feel like a case of, you know, kind of giving it to her, you know, because they felt they had to. She was absolutely brilliant.
Look, Timothée Chalamet obviously then didn't win his Best Actor award, but he did get several mentions. Some of them sort of more subtle than others, calling him out, if you like, for the controversy that we've had in the last few weeks, haven't we, when the story emerged that he'd been he's kind of called out ballet, didn't he?
A bit dismissive, hadn't he? He'd said that, you know, he doesn't want movies to end up like ballet and opera that no one cares about. And,
the wrong audience really there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he was thinking, really. I don't know, I've got some ideas, but yeah, Conan, right at the start of the night, the host kind of said, you know, we've been worried about security, you know, concerned about attacks from the opera and ballet communities, and and then a winner later on also mentioned the importance of those arts. So yeah.
Look, that was a talking point. One of the other sort of themes, I guess, emerged throughout the night. Politics crept in quite a bit. We had Javier Bardem striding out onto the stage to present an award, but starting by saying no war, free Palestine. So people weren't sort of beating about the bush in terms of getting political tonight, weren't they?
And Paul Thomas Anderson, his first speech for screenwriting, he kind of mentioned the world being in something of a mess, that housekeeping was needed by the next generation to kind of clear things up, and yeah, it did feel people were quite happy to allude to things being difficult right now.
Yeah. Look, Sean Penn didn't turn up. We were all saying, is Sean Penn going to turn up? Where is Sean Penn?
Sean Penn is in Ukraine.
Is he?
Yeah, that's where he is. So who knows what's going to happen to his Oscar? I guess someone else picks it up for him.
Well, when he said that he was quite happy a few years ago to melt down his other Oscars, that was to do with the war breaking out in Ukraine, wasn't it? So maybe it's quite a political statement in itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to get them shipped over there and melt them down then.
It was a shame though for him not to be there. I really would have loved to see Sean Penn pick up that prize.
And that is an incredible performance he gives as Lockjaw in One Battle, isn't it?
Yeah, it truly is, and I don't think anyone would deny that. I mean, he denied us the moment of winning it, but I don't think anyone would deny his performance.
Some of the more emotional nights, remembering people like Rob Reiner.
It was a really chunky in memoriam section. There was a whole, Billy Crystal did a whole tribute to Rob Brydon, which was really very touching. And then
Robert Redford,
Barbara Streisand came on, spoke really, really kind of touchingly about her relationship with Robert Redford, and then sang.
Yes. Because she sounded quite croaky beforehand. We were like, oh, she can't be about to sing. And then out of nowhere, whoa!
And Rachel McAdams came on in the middle and talked about Diane Keaton as well, and that was very lovely as well. So, but it was a really big section. So I thought they dealt with it well. It's not every year you have so many massive celebrity deaths. So I think, it's the right thing to do to extend it out a bit.
And we haven't even mentioned, it's not often that actually, sadly, the shorts get a mention, but we have to talk about the winner of Best Shorts, because it was 2 winners. There was a tie. How often does that happen in Oscars history?
A tie. It's sort of blowing my mind. Was it literally the exact same number of votes, do you think? Or do you think they round it up to the nearest 10?
The theory is, isn't it? It's because they have changed the way that they're voting, that everyone has to prove that they have actually watched every film in order for that vote to be registered. So isn't the theory being that a lot of people obviously didn't really watch all of those films, so it came down to a smaller number?
So once there's less people voting, it's more likely to be a tie. So therefore we might see more of these ties potentially in the future. Of course it's the right thing that people should watch the films in order to vote, but a tie, it's a strange thing. It's not unheard of, as you say. There's been a few incidents over the years, but it did feel a bit bad for them, because it felt like their time on stage was even more rushed in terms of giving their speeches and having to get off stage again.
Well, look, sadly, I think this party is wrapping up somewhat. What's our big takeaway? With one battle, a fitting winner. I think Paul Thomas Anderson finally getting those Oscars. What a night for him, going from having never won an Oscar, which was an absolute travesty in itself, wasn't it, to now just having armfuls of Oscars. Where will he put them, I wonder?
I'm sure he'll find a space somewhere. And it was nice to see Ryan Coogler get one as well, of course, for original screenplay. I think Sinners really deserve that. And, I think we're all excited to see what Ryan does next. So, no Best Picture this time, but I think, it's going to be in his future, probably.
It felt very much like the right people won in all of those categories.
Yeah.
Is that our main takeaway?
It was a good night. It was the right kind of night.
Yes, exactly. Well, look, stay tuned to all of the Sky News coverage. We will have all of the reactions from who won what, but wrapping up here from the Elton John party for this live stream.